The Iron Bowl, 3 simple words, and they stir emotions and feelings across the entire state of Alabama, which can be felt and in many cases starts blood to boiling because rivalries like this define this great sport. Welcome to the home of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Auburn Tigers. Auburn will kick off to get us underway. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. So the Alabama Crimson Tide offense will take the field for the first possession of this game. The last time these two clashed in the Iron Bowl, it was the Tide winning a classic.
And the Tide have done a great job in recent history of owning Auburn, doing a great job of winning this series. But they respect them every single. They know they won last year, but every year there's a healthy level of respect for this Auburn Tiger team.
Yeah, and I think back to last year's game. For Alabama, it was their best players making the big plays late in the game. And this game this year is littered with game changers on both sidelines. Both Auburn and Alabama have the guys that...
There he goes! Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down.
And this guy's going to have to come through for you in this game. He picks up another first down, but he's your Heisman contender. He's the best player on your football team, and he's a guy that's just going to have to touch the ball a lot in this game if you're going to win.
Alabama just did work on the ground. Let's see if they go right back to it. Here he goes breaking the pocket. It's incomplete. Good job by the defense sticking with its coverage. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Looking to throw, it's Russell. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. No, he got loose. Finds a crease at the 20. They get him corralled, but not until he's in the red zone. They'll mark it at the 14.
And an early completion for this dude, but you'll see a lot of that. I mean, he's been unreal this season. Like spreading the football around, multiple guys. Every game you look up, he's putting up huge numbers. This offense is built around his ability to throw the football, and that's why he's one of the best in all of college football.
Fires to the right. Give him 6. Touchdown, Alabama! They can use this first score to sort of set the tone, guys, in this rivalry matchup.
Man, doesn't this feel good to come out, score early, get the crowd involved, get the nerves out of the way, Palmer, when you're playing in a big rivalry game.
Yeah, and I feel like momentum's always a big thing in any game, but in rivalry games, it's that much more important because everybody is going to feed off that first score now.
Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out of the end zone was not a good one. The Tigers offense will take the field for the first time. Guys, if you listen closely, I think you can hear the jawing going already between this quarterback and wide receiver. What a matchup, Jesse, it's going to be between those two.
You know, so many people have already been talking about this individual one-on-one matchup, David, and it's going to be happening out on an island all game long. The receiver's got speed, he's got game-breaking ability, catching the football, can climb the ladder. He's going up against one of the best shutdown corners in the game. I cannot wait to watch this.
Yeah, and he's got the speed to stay with him and the instincts, and he's been so great out wide in every game. This is a huge test. This is a Sunday test. 2 NFL guys going at it to see who's going to take home the prize.
A veritable crimson tide of noise on Saban Field here on third down.
Well, your opponent scored on their opening drive, so obviously no need to panic. But I know, having been in this situation as a quarterback, you want to answer right away. So really good to see him making some nice throws here on their opening drive. He's going to try and see if he can get this thing tied up.
gets his first one of the day off. He was called on 4 times in last week's win. They'll put a stop to that return as he gets it up to the 41-yard line. Here comes that Alabama offense. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with it. Nothing lead. To the air, it's Russell. Oh, they're after him. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. On the move, it's Dickey. Sweet spin. Oh, he's got some space. And he'll ramble to the 34 before he's finally knocked down.
And I think the biggest thing for this young man is we've seen him be so great all throughout the season. How do you finish? And how do you finish decides if you win that big trophy at the end of the year. He's in the Heisman running late in the season. I bet you he'll get a lot of touches today.
Well, this guy's a weapon, throwing it and running it, and you know he's going to try to hurt this defense with his legs.
It puts so much stress on the defensive line to chase him, and the fact that the play is extended so long.
Yeah, if they've got a spy defensively, if someone's athletic enough to run with this guy, that's going to be maybe a sound move moving forward schematic.
Nobody open, he just throws it away, and it'll bring up second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Running behind those pads, he gets a couple before he stopped at the 18.
As a quarterback, you've got to know in this area of the field, it's tough to throw, right? The windows, they open and close so quickly when you get down to the red zone. What helps you is running the football, but that's tough today because you're going up against one of the top 25 defenses stopping the run.
Alabama with a lot of ground to cover here on 3rd and long. Wants to adjust the pattern. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Couldn't find anybody open, just threw it away, and that's a smart move. You want to avoid the turnover, especially in the red zone. It'll be 4th down. Here comes the field goal unit as they'll try to get the 3. It's good. And now the lead is even bigger. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Interesting showdown in the MAC today, man. Take a look at how things are playing out. Eastern Michigan is in the unusual position of having to come from behind right now. But there's not a soul who doesn't believe they can't pull this off. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Central Michigan. The MACtion never sleeps, and we'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us.
All season long, we've been watching this defense dominate against the run. They're the #1 rush defense in the entire country. With a big lead in this game, you cannot run the ball and expect to win.
Breaks into the open. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there.
In college football, you see this a ton now. You use a quick passing game, basically as the running game. Get a few yards, get your offense ahead of the sticks, keeps it on pace for success.
And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short. Auburn's going to have to send out the punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Very little will make a crowd hold its breath like a punt return, and he brought them to their feet on that one. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. They've built a quick double-digit lead now to try to get this offense really humming. He'll try to do it himself. And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Back to pass, it's Russell. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And these coaches have these play sheets over there on the sidelines, and there's so many calls they want to call, and they want to make explosive plays. But you got to protect your QB, and he's already been sacked. Now he's hit again. Like, they've got to protect him up front if they want a chance of doing damage on the offensive side of the football.
I'll tell you, this guy can just take games over. He can just make things happen when it doesn't look like anything's there. That time they go RPO. They're expecting to throw the football and have to make a play, but nobody's open. This is like Sandlot football. He just tucks the ball himself, and he goes and gets it. He knows where he is on the field. He knows where he needs to get that first down. He's just playing above the X's and O's.
They finally get a hold of him, knocking him down behind the line of scrimmage. He had been running wild. Alabama with a ton of ground to cover on this 3rd down. There is just nowhere to run. 3 straight times and not one single inch forward on any of them.
And I really don't understand the play call. Palmer, like 3rd and long, and they're not trusting their quarterback. Does this say something about their quarterback moving forward? We'll get to that as the game progresses. But, man, I just think you got to trust your quarterback, and you got to pass the football on 3rd and long.
Quarterback may change this route. On 4th down, they're taking to the air. Unleashes one deep. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. They won it all, and that is exactly what they got.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was, we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not, so being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. Trailing now by 17, David. This is an opportunity that they need to answer.
And down by 17, it's not panic mode yet. Like, I know we just gave up some points.
They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20.
The defense just simply not fooled by the play action. Oftentimes, as an offense, you're hoping the run fake's going to slow down those pass rushers, but man, oh man, they had their ears pinned back.
Taylor wants to throw it. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football.
Turning it on. Got enough for the first, and he's still going. And he was loose and out the gate and doesn't go down until he gets to the 48-yard line.
And how about that, man? If you're a defense, that's demoralizing. You get them in a known passing situation. They slip the run in there. All you got to do now, you're playing deep for pass, but now come up, just
breaks away in the middle. And he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, Auburn!
Man, I am a great play caller when I can hand it to guys like that. And he can go that far to the house, create big plays, showed you a little bit of vision, showed you a little bit of burners when he kicked it in gear and got the long touchdown run.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. Basically everything they've tried has worked, scoring a couple of touchdowns and a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They want to run it left here. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. They'll leave it with him. They knock him down, but not before he gets it out to the 21-yard line. Pick up a 4. The Crimson Tide looking for a big play to convert on 3rd down. They'll run play action. Makes the grab on the left. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down. New set of downs after the completion. Gonna run it. It's Dickey. Dragged down after a pickup of 5 out to the 35. Alabama with a multitude of options on 2nd and short. The give to the back. And he's able to shed one tackle, but still just a very short gain. Alabama comes to the line on 3rd and short. To the ground to try to move the chains. He's got first down yardage across the 50. They'll mark it at the 49.
You know, as a defense, you can have the right call and the right guy in the right spot, but that guy's just too good. And how about the running back on that play? Just making it happen, breaking off a huge gain. It's tough to get these guys on the ground.
Well, good call by the defense there. They dialed up blitz into that running play, and the linebacker able to make the stop.
The give to the tailback. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Alabama with a lot of ground to cover here on 3rd and long. Running back searching for a hole. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. Wanting to move the chains. Here comes Alabama on 4th. Trying to keep the drive alive. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down. Down to 2 minutes before the half, and they'll take the timeout and see if they can add a little more before the break. The Crimson Tide comes to the line with the 1st and 10. The give to the back. And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop. The Crimson Tide can dig into that playbook here on 2nd and short. Leaves it with the running back. Brought down after a good pickup, and they're in the red zone at the 20. Defense has to be frustrated. The offense keeps matriculating and matriculating and matriculating the ball down the field. They'll give it to him again.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
They get him out of bounds right at the 5-yard line, and that one might have saved the touchdown. On 1st and goal, let's see if Alabama can get it in the end zone. They'll try to get it in with the run. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. Now the offense tries to punch it in on 2nd and goal. Forced out of the pocket. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
This pass rush is real, man. They force the quarterback, they flush him out to the left, and he's trying to scramble around, find an open guy. They still are able to get a hit on him, and that forces the incompletion.
And that's good for the completion percentage and bad for the yardage. They lose ground on that one. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Back to pass, it's Russell. Big man has it, it's a first down and more. Touchdown, Bama! Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
I got to tell you, this offense has done some really good things here in this first half, and that was so critical. Scoring on their last possession of the half, they're padding their lead, and they've put so much pressure now on the opponent.
And he did make that extra point, no issue with the treacherous footing. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Fellows, in a rivalry filled with magical moments, even more here today between the Tigers and Tide.
Coming out with it, it's Brown. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. When you're facing a deficit like this one to start the second half, you really can't afford to waste a single possession.
Fresh start here in the second half. That's the
Oh, it's picked off. Not the second half start they'd hoped for. Touchdown time! The defense takes matters into its own hands.
Man, linebackers are so athletic nowadays in college football. They can play man on running backs and tight ends and all over the field. And how about the linebacker making the athletic interception and then showing you he could be a running back, taking it all the way back to the house for a touchdown.
Fielded in the end zone. It's Thompson. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. So here comes the Auburn offense. They face a pretty tall mountain here, Jesse, down 24, but if they're going to climb it, this is a good time to start.
sense of urgency's got to be big right here. You just get the feeling at this point of the game, David, they've got to score.
Intercepted, and the defense has set him up. And he has taken it all the way back. Touchdown, Alabama!
And this is exactly what you dream about for a defense. Forcing the big turnover, making the pick, and then putting points on the board yourself. Great play by the defense.
And he tacks on the extra point. He'll bring it out. It's Brown. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. Defense showing blitz. Will they bail out of it? From the gun, the running back looking for room. This time he doesn't get loose, and finally the defense gets him bottled up behind the line.
And after your defense just went out there and gave up a touchdown and let them build the lead more, you really need to come out with this drive and answer. And the running game is not it. They were ready for that. Going to have to create some explosive plays to the passing game.
Man, the momentum is squarely on their side right now. It's starting to feel like they're running away with this one. They scored a touchdown their last time out. Now on this drive here in the third quarter, the defense makes a massive play against the run, creating a negative play. They've got the opponent going backwards.
Coming out, attacking from deep in their own end, and they're out at the 26 with a first down.
And that's a first down for the offense.
He'll pull it on the read. Oh, better look out. There he goes. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down. The Tigers look to keep this drive humming. Taylor wants to throw. Just a short pass to the tight end. Breaks the tackle. And he might be known for run fits, but that was a sure and heavy tackle on the tight end. The Tigers with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Fires to the wideout. Catch in the middle, it's Simmons. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down. They're lining up in the Wildcat. Let's see what they have dialed up for this one. On the direct snap, it's Henderson. Oh, and he's going backwards. Defense not fooled at all by the Wildcat.
That play had zero shot. They got to do a better job up front, creating some running lanes. The running back, before he could go anywhere, getting tackled, nowhere to go.
Not in lockstep there with the receiver.
This is a situation here in the third quarter this offense did not want to be in, facing a top 10 defense, one of the best units in the entire country. They didn't want to get down on the scoreboard like this, and all of a sudden have to throw the football when the defense knew that was going to happen. The incompletion there is not a big surprise. This defense knows what's coming, and it's all because of the points right now on the scoreboard.
Now on fourth down, they'll try to come away with 3. And it's right down the boulevard.
Man, so many more times we're going to say, go for it, be aggressive. Nice to have a guy you can depend on, and you know you're putting 3 on the board. Nice kick, nice job.
And they'll haul down the returner to start us on the next drive. Here comes that Alabama offense. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
Trying play action. Moves around to clear up the vision. Wide open downfield. How about the zip this junior put on that ball to pick up the first down? Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They're going to test that run defense to the right here. They make the stop after a gain of 3 to the 31.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, put up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Pushes ahead for a couple. They'll mark it at the 33. It'll be 3rd and short from their own 33. On the ground, it's Dickey. They tried to go smash mouth on 3rd and short, and it did not work against this defense. So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Bought a little time, lets it go. Trying to pick up the first out of the backfield. They'll move the chains after he gets it to the 43-yard line. The Tide with the 1st and 10. Power football with the run.
That's a big key for this offense. Now, you've got the lead here in the second half. You want to run the football. You've got to just keep getting positive yards. You've got to keep the 3rd downs manageable so you can stay on the field, bleed the clock. That's going to be the key for this offense and their team winning the game.
Steps away. He's going to take off. Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact. They go back to work in the final period of this one. We've reached a break, and Alabama has the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. Alabama with a first down play to start us off here in the 4th. Give to the running back. Nice move to keep running.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position. You're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
Couldn't really get started there. Pickup of 1 to the 35.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. 4th quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
The Crimson Tide rolled to that last first down on the ground. Let's see if they go right back to the run. To the air, it's Russell. Here comes the heat. Makes the grab. It's Edwards. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
I like the idea by the quarterback there. You're trying to get this first down, so you find the tight end, see if he can make a guy miss or shake a tackle. Not able to get it done.
Leaves it with the back. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
Here's a heat. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
This defense, they are tenacious, and they've got guys up front that are athletic and that are so strong and then can collapse the pocket. You saw it right there in that play-action attempt.
On 4th down, they'll throw for it. Unloads to the wideout. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. Got room on the return. They finally get him down, but a huge return. Not only do they get the ball back, but man, did they set up some field position. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. And the Tigers now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Rushes on him. Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. Throws toward the end zone. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. Down by multiple possessions. You can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on fourth down. Looking for the end zone. And it's incomplete. The long pass on fourth down is to no avail. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the... Oh, he's got some space.
Man, this guy's shown you the whole gamut, the whole arsenal. Like, he can run, he can throw, he can handle the moment, he can handle pressure. I'm interested to see how he finishes this season. He's already in the top 10 in total touchdowns, rushing and passing. Had a phenomenal year. Now is the time, late in the season, when you can go win those individual awards.
The officials stop the clock for the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is that much closer to victory. Now on second down. Motion from the wideout. Try to get the edge with a quick touch pass. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks. The Crimson Tide a few inches away from converting on third down. He'll go to the sneak. And he needed 1 yard, and he didn't get it. The defense won the battle up front. Alabama trying to convert this fourth down. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout called.
Timeout, Alabama.
They already have a comfortable lead, up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on fourth down.
First down, Alabama.
Alabama comes to the line with first and 10. Now on first down, he's going to sneak it. The latest edition of this in-state passion play is bathed in crimson as Alabama rolls to victory over Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm...